Look at an old, failing deck. The floorboards are warped, the stairs lean, and the whole thing feels spongy underfoot. Now, compare that to a rock-solid platform built to handle heavy traffic without a single creak. That difference in quality has almost nothing to do with the expensive surface boards on top. The ultimate lifespan and strength of any deck are dictated entirely by its unseen bones, the substructure. Over the next 5 minutes, we're going to build a perfectly leveled, weatherproofed, and structurally sound frame that is completely prepped to support heavy composite decking. Before we make a single cut, we have to gather the right materials. You will need 2x10 pressure-treated lumber for the joists, solid 4x4 posts, heavy-duty joist tape, and specifically galvanized hardware. Swap out any one of those specific components for a cheaper alternative, and you are guaranteeing premature structural failure. Step 1 is establishing the foundation. We start by clearing all debris off the existing concrete piers so we can properly seat our new 4x4 pressure-treated posts. If existing posts pass structural inspection but show minor surface wear, use a high-quality wood plastic or Bondo to pack and seal the base. Once seated, you must use a level to ensure those posts sit perfectly vertical. You need to lock them in plumb before a single pound of framing weight rests on top. An angled post multiplies the downward force, pushing stress outward through the frame. Over a few seasons, that causes the entire deck to shift out of alignment. With our vertical supports locked in, we can start hanging the 2x10 pressure-treated joists across the main beam. This animated diagram outlines our spacing layout. You'll measure exactly 16 inches from the center line of one joist to the center line of the next. This is the industry standard for safely supporting the heavy load of composite decking. But working with modern pressure-treated wood carries a hidden hazard. The copper-based chemicals injected into the wood to prevent rot will rapidly eat away at standard metal hardware. To counteract that chemical reaction, you must use heavily galvanized brackets, like Z-Max joist hangers, which are specifically coated to resist corrosion. You will also install galvanized hurricane ties at every intersection to mechanically lock the 2x10 joists directly down onto the primary support beam. When securing those ties, skip the standard framing nails. Exterior-grade deck screws provide far superior upward pull strength to keep the frame grounded during severe weather. Pairing rigid 16-inch spacing math with chemically compatible hardware eliminates the risk of lateral failure. Even with a perfectly square frame, you still have to deal with the inherent flaws of raw lumber. Natural wood is unpredictable. Joists always feature slight curves, frustrating high spots, or bellies along the edge. To fix this, run an electric hand planer systematically across those high spots, shaving the crowns down until the edge is perfectly flush. You verify true flatness by laying a long straight edge level directly across multiple joists. Keep adjusting and planing down any individual boards that push the level up. Skipping this step means those high spots will push upward through your finish material, creating a visibly wavy, unprofessional floor. Now we move on to a step often skipped in amateur carpentry, the application of joist tape. Without tape, rainwater drains through the deck boards and pools directly on the flat, exposed tops of your framing lumber. Because this moisture is trapped between the board and the joist, it leads to deep internal rot that causes the wood to sag over time. Just roll this black adhesive tape directly onto the top edge of every framing lumber, pressing it down smoothly to completely seal the grain. This small investment of time seals the frame's most vulnerable points, preventing the trapped moisture that typically rots a substructure from the inside out. To finalize the substructure, we install mid-span blocking. As you can see in this cross-section diagram, long parallel joists are naturally prone to bowing and twisting torsionally under heavy loads. Installing short blocking segments tight between the joists locks the floor system into a rigid grid, totally neutralizing that torsion. From there, you wrap up the framing face by cutting your stair stringers to match the elevation drop and securely setting your lower landing platform. A fully blocked frame takes dozens of individual, flexible boards and turns them into a single, immovable structural platform. We now have a rigid, properly planed, permanently sealed, and fully blocked substructure. These bones are 100% prepared to receive premium composite decking without any risk of waving or rot from underneath. True structural integrity comes from taking the time to master the unseen details. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming tutorial on the finished decking phase. You can also explore our full carpentry courses and pick up the complete training manual using the links below. Sweating the details and building it right the first time ensures your deck will perform flawlessly for decades.